Watchguard Faction Trials Stage 15. Guys, this is one of the hardest pieces of content in the game, especially if you don't have super rare special heroes. So that is what I went for, and that's what I challenged myself to do today. I'm coming at you with the most free-to-play, budget-friendly comp I could possibly come up with. This was a doozy. I sincerely apologize for anyone watching this the day that this new content launched and the day this video comes out, that it's coming out so late in the day, only a couple hours before reset. It's frankly because it took me a long time and a lot of frustration to make this comp work with no Ingrid, no Unnameables, no Constance, no Ancient Exclusives, no Aeris, all that kind of thing. I did use Sun Wukong and KIGIRI, but both of them are A0. I have both of them A0, and they were technically free if you saved up for the limited banners, so I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's get right into it. I will show all the stats at the end. I'll show you all the builds, all the gearing, like always, but I want to get this video out as soon as possible. So hopefully I jump right in and beat it again on my first try. Before we do, let's make sure Power of Dominance is disabled. This is going to be the comp. 5 legendaries and 5 epics. The real superstars here are, you need some kind of melee DPS, I found, and Sun Wukong and KIGIRI are great at that, even at A0. There are other options, but boy, are they good. They really are. You're going to need 2 tanks. I find Livian to be really good here. I'm going to go to snipe all the invisible guys in the bottom left-hand corner, so like where I'm right now. Let me actually already get myself out of the way and nice and small. We're going to do that with Idril. Then no one's going to go invisible and unblockable, so we don't need to worry about anything like pushback, so you don't need to worry about getting a really strong Borit or Ingrid. I will say all my builds are quite strong. This is some proper endgame content. And then, yeah, I think the rest of the comp makes sense. Soleil is a secret superstar MVP here. Her bounces, if you have her A5, she does a ton of damage. If you're trying to beat Watchguard 15, I think you have Soleil A5, so I think you're good to go. And then we've got normal epic superstar DPS like Iona and Idril. Finally, my Diao-Chan is A1. To buff both Soleil and Idril the way we are going to use them, she does need to be A1. However, as long as Idril's buffed, I don't think Soleil actually needs it. She's that strong for this. So if I had an A0 Diao-Chan, I would use it. I only have A1, but that is one small caveat. So without further ado, let's head into the battle. Boy, I pray to the high heavens I can complete this content while performing the guide in one attempt, for my own sanity's sake. So 3, 2, 1, let's head. You got to get your placements out really fast. First things first, we put Idril here. I'm just pausing it to make it go fast. We're going to put Diao-Chan here and switch Diao-Chan onto black mode. So this is her inspiration and penetration mode. And then we put Soleil here. Now you'll see Diao-Chan can only reach Soleil if she's A1, as I stated, but the key thing is just getting Idril buffed up. So let's go. We're going to wait till we have 17 cost. Throw it on 2x for a second. And as soon as we have 17 cost, we're going to place Light Lock. He's going to put Inspiration on Soleil. Invigoration, I should say. We pick it up, and now we can ult with Soleil. You'll see she's got the Invigoration from Light Lock right behind my head. Let's continue. Now we need Idril and Soleil to kill these 2 guys as fast as possible, because once these guys are dead, we can ult with Idril, and she can kill these 4 guys here. So we just get the kill. The second we're at 100, we're going to ult with Idril. I will quickly tell you, this map is such a headache because the camera keeps moving you around. I'm going to make a whole video about how much I hate the camera. I've always hated it for these reasons, but right now, even as I talk, I can't see the enemies Idril's hitting. So the second she gets that hill, hammer Diao-Chan, you're taking advantage of Idril's passive, that when an ally ults while she's ulting, you get a boost. And from here on out, the second, until these 4 guys are done, the second Diao-Chan's ready to ult, we ult every time. We don't care about, you know, black mode versus white mode. We just want to juice up those ally attacks. And you'll see we get that last one and we get the kill. Boom. Good to go. So now what we're going to do, we're going to place KIGIRI. Then we place Iona. You'll see I am bringing a Legendary Lord here. I think maybe you could do this with Ein, and then you'd have to build out Camille, but you're so limited on healers here. Or maybe you could just run Light Lock. I really think Leia goes a long way. So if you've got her, please use her. I chose to use her here. We'll ult again to get a little more damage there. We got 16. We do Leia pointed up. And it always happens that Leia's Invigoration lands on Iona, which is what we want, even though it should be random. But I've tested this a dozen times. It keeps on keeping on. landed on Iona, which is what we want, so that's good. That allows you to place KIGIRI earlier, which is great. Because you'll see, because we place KIGIRI early, he has a talent, like a sweeping strike, loaded up. So the second the boss comes out, we get an early hit. Which if you've got a lot of DPS, or certainly an A3 or A5 KIGIRI, you don't have to worry about. But with A0 KIGIRI, he's not the best DPS in the world, so this helps a lot. We'll switch Diao-Chan back to healer mode, and she will stay there. Let's throw this on 2x. As soon as we hit 19 costs, we're going to place Regulus on this back tile right in front of the portal. And now here comes the nasty boss. Oh, the KIGIRI talent didn't trigger. All right, it has done that in the past. Let's trigger KIGIRI now when he gets hit. He does his strike. Oh, she didn't go for him there. That's weird. There we go. There's KIGIRI. All right, we ult with Iona and we ult with Leia. So give a little rage back to KIGIRI and Iona and a little damage boost. We can leave Regulus down, but we will do some tank cycling with him and Livian. So you see the first couple mobs Iona handles really well. The end of the fight is insane, but you're going to want to get the kill on the... As soon as you kill the boss, the fight's over. So you'll want to get that kill on the boss pretty quickly before those crazy mobs come out. Let me actually take this moment to explain how the boss works. So this boss is really annoying. They're actually not letting me click on him. You know what? I'll cut to a moment in the future where I go in and explain it. All right, so we'll cut to me explaining the key boss mechanic, mainly when his HP dips below the different 25% thresholds. So 75%, 50%, 25%, and then you kill him at 0. All right, here we go in the future after the fight. I want to break down the Watchguard Phantom. I got to say, it's been driving me nuts, Moonton, that a lot of this stuff came out, and it's pretty cool, engaging content, but it's bugged, and then there's a lot of little glitches. So it was the same thing with the Esotericist boss. The portrait image wasn't there, which is really annoying. Here, the portrait image isn't here, and you also can't even see the skills when you're in the battle. At least for me, I cannot click on the boss portrait in the game when you go to the monster info, the monster manual, so I can't see the skills. So that's why I'm explaining it to you now. So the key things to focus, there's this fortified potion. To be honest, this doesn't really affect you in the fight. You don't really see it happening, and you don't really see the opportunities to dispel it. At least I didn't. So yes, this is something KIGIRI or Lucius could take care of and dispel that buff, but I don't really see it happening. This is the big AoE Wicked Surge. We see that a lot, but the key things to focus on are the Vile Curse and the Void State. Most important of everything is the Void State. So when the boss, the Watchguard Phantom's HP drops in 25% increments, or just about 25, it's usually at like 75.6, not actually 75, but 75, 50, 25, they enter this Void Rift, they become like a little phantom ghost kind of thing. They can walk through anything, they're unblockable, they can't receive any damage, and they're going to reduce the damage, the defense, and increase the incoming damage on nearby enemies. It's a brief period, but it is important to time this out at a nice moment where you can pin the boss on the same DPSer twice. You'll see that in this guide, but definitely be cognizant of this. Practice and figure out your own timings and get used to it. Then we've got the Vile Curse. This happens periodically. It appears on the screen. It's pretty obvious. The boss casts a skill at the last deployed hero, so you want to be cognizant of the last deployed hero, converting all healing this hero receives into damage. It's fairly brief period, but ideally you want this on a hero, an ally, that it gets placed on them and then you quickly pick them up, or it's a tank that can take the extra damage and it's fine, or maybe someone that doesn't need to be healed very often, like a full health tank. So there you go. Let's go back to the battle. All right, guys, there you got your explanation of how the boss works. I apologize I can't show you in the battle. We literally are locked out. So let's resume. And let's focus on the right here. Just make sure now that the boss is out, and the boss does do that periodic AoE we talked about, make sure you've got Diao-Chan a lot of the time on healer mode to help these guys out over here. Otherwise, you can just blow a run, which I've done by not realizing that Diao-Chan wasn't healing. So there isn't an annoying thing here. When the boss goes invisible, apparition, ghost mode, that period of time and how the boss moves, there is RNG to it, depending on what skills come up when. You're going to have to feel it out, but you really need to get the pin of the boss twice on Wukong and KIGIRI. So right now, KIGIRI. Obviously, we've got her on, or him, or whatever the boss is, on KIGIRI now, but when it goes invisible through in a second, when we pass to 75, we want, when the boss reconstitutes, to be on KIGIRI. So hopefully that does happen. Usually it does, but I just want to prepare you that sometimes, unfortunately, it doesn't. I actually had a run, prepping for this, I had a run fail because it didn't reconstitute on Wukong for the second time. So here you go, the boss is invisible. Ideally, we want the boss to come with a Vile Curse, because that stops the boss from moving. So hopefully that's going to come right now, please. There it is. Okay, so I think it's still clipping into Kigiri's box. I freaking hope so. Let's see. Boss, all right, perfect. Boss turns back on. Let's ult with Kigiri. Great. Now we'll take this down to 50 pretty easy. When these guys come out, you can ult with Idril and then Soleil. Might as well ult with Regulus too. Definitely, for me, I just leave Diao Chan. It's enough DPS. I leave her on healer mode. So let's wait. Kigiri's heading over there for some reason. Let's ult with Kigiri. This should bring it down. Let's ult with Iona and ult with Leia. All right, there we go. Down 50. Now this time you can pick up Kigiri. The boss isn't. We just passed under the 50% threshold. The boss is in invisibility mode. Let's pick up. You can pick up Regulus here as well. Because what you want to quickly do is get Wukong here. And point Wukong to the side for the clone placement. You'll see that in a second. And then quickly get Livian here. So Livian's the new last place. A cool thing you can do, though, this is like the conventional way in my head to do it. Cool thing you can do is Wukong's clones, the Sage clones, the little monkeys, they do count as place units. So they can receive the Vile Curse if you want to do it that way. But this way we just ensure it's going on a tank and it will be fine. There could be clone RNG. The reason I point Wukong to the left, the boss is going to get stuck on Wukong regardless. But remember, ideally, we want to get that second pin, and we could potentially delay the movement a little bit with the reanimation I found if there's a clone here or here, potentially. There's a lot of annoying RNG to this, especially with the final reanimation. Because it's deeper into the battle, it's more frustrating. You see Livian's doing fine. She made it. If you're ever getting really low like that, just switch Diao Chan back to not healer mode, and now Livian can't get healed. You can see Wukong's ready to ult, so let's ult with Wukong, and that's going to be the one ult we do with Wukong. We're not going to do any more. We'll let him and his monkeys handle the rest with basic attacks. See there, he put a monkey out to the side. Ideally, we're going to want one behind him. And then obviously we want one in front. Yeah, there's the one behind him. Nice. Now let's switch. Remember to switch Diao Chan back off of healer mode. Now that the Vile Curse is gone, you can see Livian looks normal again. So now we can all heal back up. Almost got a kill on us there, but not quite. Here comes the Vile Curse again. So what I like to do here, pick up Livian. So it's all about RNG and how the healing works, but now we got it placed on a Wukong clone. So it was looking, this gives us some kind of flexibility. So now it goes on the Wukong clone. You can just have it go on the Wukong clones to begin with if you want as well. But for me, that's feels pretty safe and reliable. I don't know if it actually is. We'll get Regulus placed down here now. And now as these guys come out, we're going to ult with Iona and then Leia. You can notice I'm not ulting with Wukong again. We'll let him and the monkeys, as I said, handle it. Now we just got to hope this lines up and we can get a pin on Wukong. Otherwise, we can try for a last-second snipe with Kigiri, but that is harder. All right, so this should bring it down. The boss is going to go invisibility mode. Hopefully it lines up with the Vile Curse where the boss goes slow-mo. We do have the monkeys where we want them. There's the AoE, and here comes the Vile Curse. This should be all the time we need. This is looking really good. So this Vile Curse should go on Regulus or a monkey. Probably Regulus. Let's see it. No, it must have gone on a monkey. But okay, here's the boss. Hopefully the boss gets pinned on Wukong. I think it should. It's going super slow-mo right now. As these guys come out, we go Idril, then Soleil. Is the boss back alive? It is, and it's on Wukong. This is looking great, guys. We ult with Wukong there. We can ult with Regulus right now to prepare for the incoming onslaught. And now here, we don't care about these guys making it to the portal. We've got stall options, right? We just want to get the kill. The second the boss dies, the fight is over. So we just want to get this to 0% before anyone enters the portal. So I'm going to buy myself some time potentially by placing Light Lock there. Just be careful if a Vile Curse does come. But Regulus can die. These guys absolutely whack. But look how much damage Soleil and Idril are doing. We're getting nice and low here. Let's go with Iona. Let's go with Leia for a little damage boost. Come on, baby. Let's go for a Wukong snipe. Nearly there. Here comes the Vile Curse. So this is what I'm talking about, the trick. So it's going to go on Light Lock, right? It should. Looks like it didn't. Looks like it went on a clone for some reason. But then what you can do is pick him up if it does go. Block with Livian here. 2%. We got it, baby. So I want to say easy peasy lemon squeezy, but frankly, it was not the easiest, the peasiest, or the lemon squeeziest. But we did get it done. And wow, oh my God, is that an ancient or an exclusive? I thought it was an ancient for a second, but we did get the exclusive drop. No main stat as we're used to seeing on these, but that's pretty cool. Seems like a pretty low percentage. This is something that can drop from stage 14 and 15 in the new faction trials. From all my clearances on Esotericis yesterday and Watcher today, so it's 3 Esotericis, 3 Watcher. This was my 1 drop. Let's check those total stats. I think you'll be really impressed by Soleil because there's so few enemies there, but she really did a great job. Idril was mostly there for the sniping at the beginning. These are our 2 single target DPS, and then of course Iona taking on those huge big guys on the side. There you have it. I think this is as accessible as I can personally make it. I'm sure someone can come up with something a little more clever. Maybe, I don't know. I worked pretty hard at this, but you know, I got A's. We had to use Wukong and KIGIRI, but they were A0. I will also tell you, this isn't just a hero check. The DPS check on this was pretty crazy, and not even just the DPS check. The general gear check was kind of blew my mind. Like I had runs, especially before I brought Soleil in, where like Regulus could die from those guys, and you'll see my Regulus build's kind of nuts. But let's go in, let's break it down. I really hope this helps you. I'm sorry if you're watching it the day it comes out that I got it out so close to reset, but let me know. Maybe this helps someone quickly clear it before it restarts. Let's go. I do want to also mention, if you have Ymerit, if you have IX, and certainly please, Mother of God, if you have Ingrid, use them. You're not a content creator. You're not trying to make accessible content. Use the good heroes. I wasn't trying to challenge myself. I was just trying to make it relatable to all players, and I could just see the comments, people being like, I can't believe you used Ingrid, which I totally get. It's like using the rarest, best hero in the game isn't really a fair, realistic guide. So we had our A0 Wukong, our A0 KIGIRI, and then I think the rest is pretty dang reasonable. You know, Leia's been out forever, normal Lord. I think a lot of people will have her, and I'm sure eventually someone will find a solution using Ein. But let's go. You can see KIGIRI here. He's in Soulbound Arcana. We went attack bonus on everything. We went for a little extra attack speed here, and then we went for full quad stats, attack bonus, flat attack, crit damage, crit rate. Let's go to the total stats. 26.9k attack. I really pumped that nice and high. 1.5 second interval. 261.5% crit damage. I really feel like leaning into the attack helps a lot in this endgame content, so that's what we did. For the artifact, I have his exclusive promo 2. I do think his exclusive is best in slot. I don't think the promo 2 is so markedly better than promo 0. You'll be fine if you have the exclusive. Otherwise, you know, I guess there's a lot of single target. Maybe a Shattered Hilt would be really good. Obviously, a Wailing Skull would be amazing. That'd probably be his best in slot besides the exclusive. Wukong, we've got his exclusive, also promo 2. Again, best in slot, even if it's promo 0. And again, I probably would just use a Shattered Hilt or something like that. Wailing Skull would take up a spot for his monkeys, which would be kind of annoying. And then if you wanted to use a legendary, actually Watchguard's Ambition is really good for Wukong, if I can find that. This one down here. For the gear, it's pretty similar. Attack bonus, attack bonus. This one we went crit damage. We had a nice crit rate, and I needed it. I actually don't know why I ran this piece. I was going to say I needed it, but I didn't need it. I could have gotten a better piece on him. Wukong's so strong, it doesn't matter. Here we got our little trio of attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage. And then here we've got our trio again. You know, it's great gear, but it's actually not even close to my best gear. That had to go on other people, to be fair. 23k attack, 1.6 second interval, 327% crit damage, so a little better than KIGIRI. Let's continue on. I don't think there's anyone more to show here. Let's move to our tanks. We've got Regulus here. He's just in typical Guardian and Immortal Warrior. No Ancients, but you can see we're just hunting tank stats. It's a good build. 115,000 HP, almost 10,000 defense, 9,700. Kind of blows my mind how hard they hit him sometimes. Maxed out Bastion Ring. Let's go to Livian now. She's in a Tempered Will set. This is what my Broke here usually uses. I do like going defense bonus for one of the right side pieces for Livian because she's got very low base defense. And you can see we went HP bonus with the rest, and then Immortal Warrior again, looking for that quad on the weapon if you can get it. Total stats pretty good, 86.9 and just over 9,000 defense. For the artifact, again, maxed out Bastion Ring. I think by the time a lot of people reach this content, you should have this stuff. I think our only marksman was Idril. So you can see here with Idril, we're going for attack bonus, attack bonus, attack bonus. This is one of the better pieces on my account. Of course, the gold rolls in flat defense, though. We got a little trio here of our DPS stats. And then here we got the quad, the trio plus flat attack. It's a good Idril build coming in at just under 15,000 attack. Really good with such a low base attack. She's just over 300% crit damage. She's 1% under crit cap, and she's quite fast. This is a good Idril build. For the artifact, I did a maxed out Spirit Siphon. Let's go to our mages now. We've got our 2 epic ladies. And again, use Ajax, use Ingrid if you have them. Please use Ingrid if you have her. Don't make this harder than it needs to be, unless you're also filming content or you're doing a challenge with your friends or something. Soleil, funny enough, these count as souped up basic attacks, even though functionally they feel like crazy AoE special ults. They really need the A5 to go crazy time. They really do, because they can bounce like to the same target, which is really cool. But it counts as basic attack, so you can run her Infernal Roar, and we did that. Got some Rage Regen that we didn't need, just looking for crit damage with attack bonus as the main stat. Here, it's such a big attack bonus roll, I felt I could go crit damage on the main, and then again, attack bonus with crit damage, normal kind of ancient Infernal Roar stuff. Here we got attack bonus, crit rate, attack speed on Wicked Vengeance, and here we got my best Wicked Vengeance breastplate on my whole account, showing that off a little bit. You can see we got her up to basically the same as Idril. She's got higher base attack, but we got to do more crit damage because we went 1 main stat there. Just under 15,000. Crit damage over 350%. Not that fast, pretty reasonable. Very honestly, I think when you reach this point, this is a reasonable build. Her and Iona got my best gear. They needed it. So Iona's in some really good soulbound. This is the best piece on my account. Don't you like it? Let's go here. Really nice flat attack there. I ditched the crit rate because Iona gets 8% crit rate from her Awakenings, and she gets 3% from Faction Collection. So she only need 89% on her. It's really easy to skip crit rate on one stat, and this allowed me to get really big stats. Here we got a quad. We got our flat attack as well. Really nice piece. Really nice piece here. One of my best weapons. And then here we got a quad again. Iona's in the best gear on my account, or one of the best gear builds I can make on my account. 15.6 is really high with only 39.90 base attack, crit capped, pretty darn fast, and over 300% crit damage. I'm really happy with this build, and this is kind of what it took for her to do that job. So I'm saying if you have Ingrid or Ajax, just bring them. Just bring them. Just don't be crazy. I also haven't mentioned Aeris is insanity. I would have used Aeris if I had him because he's reasonable for people to have, but I don't have him. But he's so good. His AoE is crazy. He's got slows. He's just phenomenal for this. But that is going to be Iona. And then finally, our healers. I'll start with Lightlock because he matters the least. You saw he was barely down. He is in a pretty good healer build with a little tankiness, so potentially he couldn't get sniped. That was really for stage 13 and 14 where the mages were there. But just have him in Invig. His real job is just to place Invig on Soleil in this comp. Let's go back. For Diao Chan, just pure inspiration build. This is like my normal Dolores gear with the Wings of Grace, high flat attack, high attack bonus, and then high attack bonus. You could get away with a lot less. 13.5 here, base promo exclusive. And then finally, Leia needs some good healing. So we're going attack bonus with heal effect, rage and attack speed. We're going attack speed with big attack bonus, flat attack, heal effect, rage. This piece is crazy. Then we got attack bonus with rage regen, some HP so she can't die, and attack speed. We got a Leia exclusive with bad rolls but perfect substats. And then we've got big attack bonus, big attack speed, and nice heal effect. This is a good Leia build, especially if that weapon, I'll probably recast it eventually. For the artifact, even though her basic counts as it's multi-target, it hits 3, the game counts it as single target. So definitely Elysian Epitaph if you need the heals, which I needed. That is a great choice. All right, let's get this video out. I should have it out 1.5 hours before reset. I really, really, really hope this helps someone. So please, if it helps you, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching in the future, how's the future? Let me know in the comments. Say hi. And please tell me that it helped you, because this took me hours today to work out. I appreciate it. Share with your mother. That is my guide on Watchguard Faction Trials 15. Hope you enjoyed it. I've been Fastidious. Goodbye.
Fastidious.